Hello students, welcome to YouTube channel of Sun Academy. I am Naresh Gunani. Today in this video we are going to discuss the chapter capital reduction in financial accounts. Before this video regarding this chapter, in the last lecture or last video we learned what is capital reduction. Today we will try to understand capital reduction account. So whenever company reduces the value of its share, it passes the entry equity share capital account debit to capital reduction account, and that amount is written on credit side of the capital reduction account. Then if value of preference share also is reduced, then entry is passed preference share capital account debit to capital reduction account, and that amount also is written on credit side of the capital reduction account. If there is a security premium in the balance sheet of the company and company wants to utilize the amount, then what the amount is utilized is written on the credit side of the capital reduction account, and entry is passed as security premium account debit to capital reduction account. Then if company wants to pay less of outstanding debenture interest, then entry is passed as outstanding debenture interest account debit to capital reduction account, and that less amount paid is written on credit side of the capital reduction account. Then after, if creditors agree to receive some less amount or company wants to pay some less amount to the creditors, then that amount is written on the credit side of the capital reduction account, and entry is passed as creditors account debit to capital reduction account. Then after, if company realizes that general reserve is also to be utilized, then entry is passed as general reserve account debit to capital reduction account. What the amount is used, entry will be passed for that amount, and that amount will be written on the credit side of the capital reduction account. At last, if there is a profit standing on the liability side and it is also to be utilized, then entry is passed as profit and loss account debit to capital reduction account, and that amount is also written on the credit side of the capital reduction account. Now you can see that all these entries are related to the liability side of the balance sheet. Now it comes to the asset side of the balance sheet. Then suppose there is a loss and standing on the asset side of the balance sheet, then capital reduction account will be debited and profit and loss account will be credited, and that amount will be written on debit side of the capital reduction account. Intangible assets are to be written off, like goodwill, copyright, trademark, patent, software, franchise, some amount of any of the intangible assets or whole amount of any intangible asset is to be written off, then entry is written as capital reduction account debit to intangible asset account, and that is written on the debit side of the capital reduction account. Then depreciation is to be written off on fixed assets. Then entries passed as capital reduction account debit to fixed assets, and that depreciated amount is written on the debit side of the capital reduction account. Then it comes fictitious assets like share discount, debenture discount, preliminary expenses. All these are to be written off. Then entries passed as capital reduction account debit to fictitious assets account, and on the debit side of the capital reduction account is written. Then after, if some amount of investment or current asset is to be written off, then entry is written as capital reduction account debit to investment to any of the current asset, and that amount is written on the debit side of the capital reduction account. At last, preference dividend is to be paid, then capital reduction account will be debited and preference dividend account will be credited. Then after telling the account, if amount is short on the debit side of capital reduction account, then entry is passed as capital reduction account debit to capital reserve account. So these are mainly journal entries. There are also 4 to 5 type of other journal entries also that will be explained when we will take any of the question or we will try to solve any of the example.